Hey folks, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. Your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please be sure to follow and leave a 5-star rating. As many of you may have caught in the previous episode, I am recording in a hotel in Las Vegas because I'm attending the Money Show where I'm talking about tokenization, crypto, and much more. So apologies ahead of time for the audio and video quality. I'm not in my studio, of course, but let's jump into the news. All right, so Bitcoin is trading over $66,000. So we continue to see the rally extend here, and we're starting to see some altcoins waking up, which is a very good sign. In fact, XRP has broken out of its 66-day downtrend, and it's breaking a downtrend line, and this is a very good sign. I expect XRP, Solana, ETH, and more to start to rally. We will have to wait and see what's the extent of this rally. Is it simply a relief rally that rejects off the 200-day moving average because we're still trying to find a bottom, even though I believe the bottom of the bear market is very close, but it could already be in. We just need confirmation, right? So, but we're close, guys. The majority of the downside is over. And of course, if we get positive news on the Clarity Act, we will see a very strong rally. The question is, can we break through that 200-day average and continue to move higher? Now, I don't expect that move to happen in 1 week or a month. It could play out over months. Now, we are getting some good news on the Clarity Act. The odds of it passing has crossed 50% again. It's currently at 52% on Polymarket, and this is because of renewed talks around the ethics situation. Yesterday, I reported that the White House agreed to certain ethics language to be placed into the respective bill. Here, we got a report that President Donald Trump is said to have made historic concessions in the deal to allow an ethics provision in the Crypto Clarity Act that curtails the president's own activities, and the White House is pushing Democrats to accept it. Will the Democrats accept it? That's the big question, right? Let's hope they do, and that the ethics language is sufficient. Now, we don't have the details yet, right? We haven't seen any type of release on that. And of course, the White House is trying to get these Democrats to get on board. And there is a lot of bipartisan ethics discussions underway. So Axios confirm that this is happening. Senator Tom Tillis is spearheading the negotiations on the GOP side. So it's great that the dialogue and discussions are happening. Let's hope they're fruitful and it leads to a great compromise and we can get this bill out of the Senate where it would have to go to the House to be voted and then it will pass or it will go to President Trump for signatures. Of course, time is not on our side because the members of Congress go on recess on August 7th. This is for the August recess, and we are in a election year, a midterm election year, so nothing's going to happen come late Q3 into Q4. Eleanor Terry reported that Senator Angela Also Brooks, who's a Democrat, told her that the White House idea to have the Department of Justice enforce the Clarity Act's ethics provision is an unserious offer, and says she would not support the bill if that is the only enforcement option. So essentially, she's saying that the DOJ is going to do the bidding of President Trump, and this is not sufficient. So we'll see. Again, the good thing is the negotiations are happening, the dialogue's happening. Senator Bernie Moreno, who has been working with Senator Cynthia Lummis to secure an ethics agreement with the White House, told reporters last night that the current proposal would put the DOJ rather than the state attorneys general in charge of enforcement. Here's a quote from Senator Also Brooks, but we'll keep working from the floor to reach an agreement that holds us all accountable. Also Brooks is one of the 2 Democratic senators who voted to advance the Clarity Act out of the Senate Banking Committee in May and has said her continued support for the bill hinges on strong ethics provisions being included in the final text. So again, she's not anti-crypto and she helped to vote it out of the Senate Banking Committee. So I think she wants to see some proper ethics language in here. Obviously, there's a larger ethics situation we have to address with Congress being able to trade stocks and other assets. It's not a crypto-specific issue, but I think a lot of this may be addressing meme coins and some of the other things happening. But again, this is all great. This is a sausage-making process, and it needs to happen in order us to get this bill done. So let's hope they're able to come to an agreement and get this done, folks. Now, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that the Clarity Act is at the 1-yard line. This is being reported by Bloomberg. So we're very close. And it's great to hear that progress is being made, and we're seeing, based on the feedback and the dialogue we're seeing happening. Now, yesterday I reported to you guys that Russia is looking to pass crypto legislation, and in fact, they have passed it. So we got reports here that Russia has passed the law that regulates the circulation of digital currencies and digital rights in Russia for the first time, the TASS reports. So this is kind of good that it's happening now because it will put more pressure and onus on Congress or the Senate to get this done because other countries are moving forward. So this is very good. And moving ahead, crypto lobby group, the Digital Chamber, sues the state of Illinois to block the digital asset tax. Many of you may recall this was a proposal by the governor. I mentioned that the governor was very close to Elizabeth Warren. So he didn't wake up and, was like, oh, yeah, let me do this. Elizabeth Warren is seeding the ideas here. And it's, of course, draconian and nonsense. It's utter BS. So I'm really happy to see that the Digital Chamber is suing these guys, that if any other states who are friends or cronies, that the officials are cronies of Elizabeth Warren, they better not do this or they're going to get sued. Digital Chamber alleged that the Illinois Digital Asset Tax Act violated both the U.S. and state constitutions and is preempted by a federal tax law. The lawsuit, filed Tuesday, asked a federal judge to block the Illinois state government from enforcing the tax. The tax violates the Illinois state constitution's uniformity and due process clauses, the Commerce Clause of the U.S. Constitution, and the Internet Tax Freedom Act by specifying digital asset transactions, the suit said. So again, this bill is utter BS, but great to see the Digital Chamber, and many of you know I've had Cody Carbone of the Digital Chamber on hundreds of times over the years, so they're doing some great work here. This is really, really great. And of course, crypto is a global asset class, so we're seeing legislation and guidance being put forth across the globe. So Pakistan sets up crypto enforcement with dedicated federal unit. So the infrastructure being set up here to regulate the market, not ban it, regulate it, to let it thrive and grow. So Pakistan's Federal Investment Agency established a dedicated investigative unit to probe cases involving cybercrime and financial fraud linked to cryptocurrency. First reported by Dawn News on Tuesday, the Crypto Investigation Unit will probe digital asset use in crimes, while Pakistan's Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority will continue being responsible for digital asset regulation. So guys, this is straightforward, right? You have the section of the government that gives out the licenses and works with the companies and all these things, but you also need the regulatory side and fight bad actors who are going to use the technology for crime, just like use every other asset and technology, right? Bad actors are going to do their thing. Humans are going to be humans. So we got to make sure that we're protecting consumers and allowing innovation to foster. So that's the balance. And this is really, really great. And we're seeing, again, the global movement towards regulating crypto assets. Now, some not so good news. Movement Labs for Chapter 11 bankruptcy after months of Move token turmoil. I remember reporting on this months ago. So it looks like this blockchain is in trouble. But this is what we've talked about for years, guys. This is why you want to be diversified. And I've often stated not every blockchain is going to be a winner, just like not every company and stock that you hold is going to be a winner, right? But you want to make sure you do your research. And we are seeing some not so good things here. So the blockchain developer will continue operating under court supervision as it restructures following a market-making scandal, a co-founder's suspension, and exchange delistings that rocked the project. So I think this may be a dead project right now. I was not a holder of the Move token. It did seem very promising, but again, it's not possible to invest in everything. I don't know if any of you watching or listening were, had exposure to the Move token, but this is certainly not good news. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But again, a reminder, be diversified, continue to do your research. Sometimes you may have to exit a project because there are warning signs or things that may be coming up that, will not work out well. And the same principle applies to your other investments, such as stocks and much more. Now, Galaxy sets up a $5 million fund to help shield Bitcoin against quantum computing threats. So every blockchain is doing this, right? Quantum is certainly going to be a threat. Is it an immediate threat that's happening right now? No. But in the years to come, it will be as the technology becomes more sophisticated and they can potentially, now I say potentially, the cryptography of certain blockchains. So Bitcoin's not excluded from that, and every blockchain has to make sure they have some sort of strategy here. So it's great to see the investment that's happening and many firms backing the readiness initiatives to prevent any type of quantum situations. So the crypto financial services company said it will begin accepting applications for the Galaxy Bitcoin Quantum Readiness Initiative immediately, with grants focusing on developing quantum-resistant signature schemes, wallet migration tools, and security audits. The company said it hopes other firms will contribute funding and research to accelerate the transition to quantum-resistant cryptography. This is really great. This is what you want to see. Obviously, it will take some funds like this, and I think the entire crypto industry will probably have to set up a massive fund because everybody's in the same boat. They're all going to be under the attack or threat of quantum. So really great to see the folks at Galaxy doing this. I actually interviewed one of the folks from Galaxy at the Injective Policy Summit that I was at last week. He heads up crypto lending. So that interview should be published over the next week or so. So they're doing a lot, working with different institutions and much more. Now, folks, quick word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by Go Mining. Go Mining is the all-in-one Bitcoin app that makes it simple and secure to earn, use, and benefit from Bitcoin every day. Bitcoin is the future of money, and Go Mining brings the future into the present, regardless of your country, income, or level of knowledge. The app brings together a growing ecosystem of Bitcoin products. This, of course, includes mining, which is the core of Go Mining's business. Traditional Bitcoin mining usually requires buying expensive equipment, managing electricity and maintenance, and setting up technical infrastructure. Go Mining removes this complexity. Instead of running hardware at home, users can access real mining infrastructure located in professional data centers through the app. Now, it's important to distinguish that Go Mining is not a cloud mining app. All mining power is backed by real equipment in their data centers. And you can verify this yourself directly in the app. They also offer what's called mining wars. So this is a competitive mining game where users can battle for greater rewards. So it gives you another option to be able to earn and makes it a bit fun as well. In addition, they offer a great crypto wallet, a built-in crypto wallet to store, deposit, withdraw, and convert supported assets directly in the app. And it's easy to manage your Go Mining initiatives within their dashboard where you can view your rewards and all the mining activities that are taking place. And they also have a great academy that helps you to get started and answers all your questions with courses, guidelines, and much, much more. So you have to check out Go Mining. Go to the link in the description to learn more.
All right, moving ahead, the UK Parliament begins inquiring into banking choke point for crypto businesses. So apparently the UK had their own version of Operation Chokepoint 2.0, which we had here under Gensler and Elizabeth Warren's reign on the financial services side of things. We know there was a big attack against crypto under the Biden administration, debanking and much more. So it looks like the UK is trying to clean that up in their own way. So let me give you some details. UK politicians want to know the extent to which the country's banks have choked off cryptocurrency firms by refusing them bank accounts and introducing restrictions on crypto-related payments in a cross-party inquiry kicked off on Tuesday. The Crypto Digital Assets All-Party Parliament Group is chaired by Ed Vizy, if I'm saying that right, a former minister for the digital economy and a member of the House of Lords, and Gurinder Singh Josan, a Labour MP, according to the press release. So this is really great, right? In order to get crypto to grow and the innovation to happen, you got to make sure you tie up all loose ends. So whether it was the banking or debanking that was happening, you got to get that all cleared up. I think that's pretty much been cleared up here in the United States. But in other regions and countries, it looks like they're starting to do their own version of what we did here in the United States. Moving ahead, Augustus raises $180 million to build a clearing bank for the AI and stablecoin era. We've talked a lot about this, folks. I've had guests on via interviews to talk about the building of the infrastructure to have stablecoin payments be used by AI agents. The agentic economy is going to be huge. Many of you will have AI agents doing things for you, booking your travel, managing your finances, buying your groceries. We're going to have a lot. It's coming, right? It's inevitable. But they're not going to be using Zelle and they're not going to be using cash, obviously. So coins are going to be leveraged for instant settlement. So many companies are looking to build the infrastructure, and the competition is heating up. So Augustus, a startup building a federally chartered clearing bank for fintechs and financial institutions, said it raised $180 million to expand its dollar payment infrastructure as stablecoins reshape global finance. The fundraising valued the company at $1 billion. Wow. The investment comes as banks, fintechs, and crypto firms are racing to modernize the infrastructure behind cross-border payments. While much of the attention has centered on stablecoin issuers, Augustus is targeting a less visible but crucial part of the financial system, correspondent banking. Here's a quote. "We think distribution breaks at the clearing bank layers." CEO Ferdinand Debitz told CoinDesk in an interview, "Legacy clearing systems are slow, unavailable, take 2 days to settle, and close on the weekends," he argued. And he says they're building an AI native clearing bank designed around stablecoins, programmable money, and always on settlement. Incredible, folks. And I think that statement summarizes a lot of the benefits of crypto: instant settlement, transparency, traceability. It increases trust because it eliminates a lot of middlemen. You have the consensus of the blockchain network and much more. So really great stuff here. Final news item: Canton Network developer Digital Asset raises $10 million at same $2 billion equity valuation. Many of you may recall my interview with Yuval Ruse, who is the CEO of Digital Asset. And again, they are the developers around the Canton Network. I'm bullish on this project. I told you about it early. I hold the token. And you may have caught my interview from a couple of days ago with Mark Wendland, who heads up the digital asset treasury company, Canton Strategic Holdings. They obviously hold Canton Network on their balance sheet, so make sure you check out that interview. We talked a lot about Canton. But Canton developer Digital Asset continues to raise a lot of funds here. Their most recent funding round was $365 million. And remember, folks, the creators, the backing of all this is major institutions like Goldman Sachs, Citadel, and much more. So this is a Wall Street blockchain built for institutions, and it has privacy built in. And in the $355 million raise last month, it was led by Andreessen Horowitz. So A16Z Crypto. So I'll let you know that. I often talked about watch what A16Z is doing. There's a lot of liquidity coming here. So great to see they're raising the capital. People are believing in the project. They're doing a lot of development. And I think, honestly, Canton could be a winner. Now, is that guaranteed? Of course not, right? But I think based on what I'm seeing, it's why I'm putting my bet on Canton in addition to other assets. And let's see. Hopefully it does well in the next bull market, because I think privacy will be a huge narrative. All right, folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't as yet. Be sure to subscribe to my free email newsletter on Substack. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. Grab a copy. And check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you everything you need to know about crypto and blockchain technology. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.